Okay, this is the class 1 about computer applications. Okay, so there are so many things to learn about computer applications or computer awareness. Okay, so we'll learn one-on-one. So I'll be using some sort of slides, so we'll be getting understand it. So these are the topics that we will be covering in this computer awareness thing. Okay, so what are these is that we'll be having little bit about introduction to computer, also about the computer architecture and hardware, how the computer memory goes, and data representation, also the software which we are using, and we also call as OS, how to install OS in your computer, and also some of the concepts. Okay, so there is also Microsoft Windows, how the Microsoft Windows works. Are you using a Windows or else Apple? Oh, that's good then. So Windows, and there is Microsoft Office. In Office 365 there are so many applications, like we have PowerPoint, PPT, and we have Word, and we also have Excel and different things. Okay, so we also have database concepts, we'll be learning about it, and also data communication and network. Okay, we will see everything in detail. So, and finally we also have internet and its services and computer security. So this is all about the what we call it as our what do you call this thing, we call this thing as a basics of computer. Okay, what do you call it, this as perfect. So these are called basics of computer. Okay, so we'll be learning everything in detail, so no need to worry about anything, just relax and check it out. Okay, so first thing is about introduction to computer. So when we see about the computer, what do you think? So who is the father of the computer? Do you know it? Okay, no worries, we'll learn about him. Okay, Charles Babbage. Okay, so we'll learn about everyone. So before that, let us see. So there are four things in computer. It is called functioning of a computer. You can write it down if you want. Anyway, I'll be sending this PDF, so no need to worry. If you want to write it down, just check it out. Okay, so first thing is functioning of a computer. So functioning of computer have four things. One is the input, the processing, the output, and storage. It's simple, it goes as simple as this. If I take a computer, what I had a monitor, and I also have a mouse, and prior to this I also have what else, maybe a CPU. Yes, and can you name few? That's good, keyboard. Okay, can you name also others? So how you take a printout? That's good, so we also had a printer. Okay, so how you scan the paper, scan papers? We scan through scanner. Okay, this is called scanner. Okay, so we had monitor, printer, and all this blah blah blah. So there are two things that need to understand. So one is input. Input is something which we give, okay, information or data that we give to the computer. So what is the information that we give to the computer is that we give through either to the keyboard, or else to the mouse, okay, or else through the scanner, or else through barcode scanner, anything else. And output is something which comes over, that is through the monitor or through the printer. Okay, so the CPU, what does is, can you say me what is the full form of CPU? Perfect, central processing unit. Okay, okay, that's good. Anyway, so CPU is does is it does processing. Okay, so there is something called storage in the CPU. Okay, so you may have a 1 TB or different sort of things, right? So what is your computer storage?
I think 1 TB. I don't know.
Okay, you don't know?
I'm pretty sure 1 TB.
Oh, 1 TB, that's good. So different type of storage. So we'll learn about input, processing, output, storage. Okay, let us see about the features of the computer. So what are the features of the computer? So depend on our generation. So there's i5 processor, i10, right? So if I take my computer is core i5, and there is something called graphic card, right? So the same thing happens on every computer. Okay, so if you take any computer, the same thing happens. We'll be having a generation, okay, generation gap and generation difference for a computer. Okay, let us see the features. So first feature is about speed. So how speed does your computer it works? Okay, it processes. It depends on the instructions. You can write it down just the subheadings like speed, accuracy, storage capacity, versatility. Okay, so just write it down, features of computer, and write speed, accuracy, storage capacity, and versatility. So I'll be speaking and you can just note it down. Okay, so accuracy. So computer it does give us a accuracy. If I say 2 plus 2, what do you say? What is the answer of 2 plus 2? Perfect. See, if I ask you to say 294 minus 130, you may take time, right? But computer it had a speed and also it had accuracy. And third thing is it got storage capacity. So data, bundles of data is going into computer, and this data had a storage. Okay, and final thing is versatility. What is meant by versatility? Yeah, speed and it versatile is something like I'm using my laptop, but I am using different set of applications. One side I'm using a game, one side I'm using seeing a movie, one side I'm teaching a class to you, one side I'm writing some sort of thing. Okay, if it's like that, how it is, right? So the same thing follows for this also. Okay, so that is called versatility. We can use different sort of things at a time. Okay, you got it? All right. So now let us go to the next thing. So okay, there is called, there are few other things, nine more, five more things. What are these? So this is automation, vigilance, secrecy, reliability, plug and play. Okay, what is meant by automation? Do you know what is meant by automation? Okay, so we need not put every time input. It does, it works automatically. Okay, that is called automation. You can just write this one which is highlighted. Okay, and vigilance. Vigilance, like if we take a like us, okay, like some of the human beings, what does they do? If we are tired, we sleep, right? But computer doesn't sleep. It had its own vigilance, it had its own vigilance. Okay, that's good. Vigilance is used for digital applications. Vigilance, you know what's mean vigilance? Yes, vigilance. Vigilance is something which is used for human beings. If I am driving a train, okay, if I'm driving a train, what happens? Yes, if I sleep, the people behind me gets lost, right? If there is an accident, the total bogies, all the compartments behind me gets lost. They may die, right? So someone should wake me, right? In the same way, in trains there is something called vigilance. Okay, so for every 1 minute there will be some sort of alarm. It will be tuck tuck, it will be poking. So what the train driver should do is he should with his leg he should touch the right um, button. Okay, so how it works. Okay, anyway, the seventh thing is secrecy. Okay, so by using this thing, if I am using a paper and pen, I'm writing everything. This paper, this documents could be taken a xerox and are taken a printout, and it could be gone to somewhere, or we can take a photo of that, right? But if you're using a data in computer, it will be, we can use the password protection, so people cannot directly see it, right? So if you take a computer, if you take few books in your home, what you will see directly, you will take a few books, right? Computer will cannot access to it, right? So secrecy, we can also have good secrecy. And reliability and plug and play. Okay, reliability is something which we had a possibility of errors. Okay, anyway, plug and play is also something also helps to develop hardware, good software components. Okay, leave that and let us come to this better thing. This is called few things that is related to computer. Whenever I say computer, I will speak of these six things. First one is hardware. Hardware is something which you can see with your naked eye. Okay, so if you can see the monitor, it is a hardware. If you can see the keyboard, maybe can you see this vacuum pad, okay, or else a mouse, anything else, printer. Yeah, these are all called as hardware. So what is a software? It is called, yes, exactly, programs. It could be programs, web browsers, word processors. Okay, so it could be also the OS, operating system. Okay, anything else. Okay, and coming to the third thing is data. Data is something which will be like this, 100 100. Okay, this is called binary data. Okay, so like numbers, text on a piece of paper. Right, this is called data. Okay, fourth thing is information. So what exactly is the information? When data is being processed or organized, structured or presented, we'll be getting the information. Okay, so basically if you take your laptop and you can see the news, right, world web in www, this world wide web. And also we can get the instruction, it is given to computer. So it's called language, like C language. Do you know C language? Yes, C language, C plus, Java. Okay, hyphen. Okay, they're different. Okay, yeah, we will learn that also. Okay, yeah. So let us, the final thing is program. Okay, program is something which we program the computer, or which we program in designing something, so it will be helpful for computer to press on. Okay, what is left? So let us, with this information we know everything about the theoretical knowledge of computer. So what is a hardware? Perfect. What is a software?
Programs.
Okay, so what is a data?
Data is like code, like
Exactly.
numbers.
That's it. So this is enough. So programming is something you know, right? So finally, let us start with the history of a computer. So this is really important. So it took a holistic approach for a computer to be designed. Okay. So how does it started? We will see one on one. So let us start the class. Okay. So this is all about computer. Okay. So computer was invented like way back, like from let me take abacus. Okay, you know abacus? What is abacus?
No.
Okay, so this guy, now this is something, abacus is something like this. There are spokes here. Okay, this is how it goes. So this is the invention. Abacus is the invention. So it is a something like this. I can show you after class. So it is something which is like this, we can just calculate easily. Okay, in addition or subtraction or square roots. Okay, so this is done in 1602, and then by in China, we don't know who had did it, but after that there is Napier's bones, which was done by John Napier. So there is a 3D structure. Okay, so it could help in performing. Here it is only additions and subtractions, square roots, and here it is multiplication of numbers. Okay, so and then there is something called task line. So this was done by Blaise Pascal. So first mechanical adding machine. Okay, it is a adding machine which performs addition subtraction of two numbers. Okay, and as days goes by, there are few other things like punched card and barrels. Okay, after going into little bit advanced, so let me ask you something here. So when does the basis for the invention of computer had started? It is in 16.
1602.
Perfect, you can write it down, just this thing. Everything is not in it. So just write the basis of invention for the computer had started in 1602. Okay, I hope you wrote it down. So let us go to the next thing. So there we go. So it is about invention, inventor, calculate. Yeah. So and then there goes the electromechanical machine. Okay, so it helps to read one card at a time. And then there also started some sort of interlocking panels, and also data can be manually entered. It is something which happens in 1944, that is called Mark 1. Okay, okay, from here it is important, tabulating machine. Tabulating is machine, that is we could just enter into the data. Okay, so in 1944, that is 1945, the World War II had stopped, and in that time there is something called storage. Okay, so for the a very sophisticated storage data, or else very confidential matters was being stored like this. Okay, all right. So in America they had started it, and the next invention is ENAC. It helps in electronic digital computer. And then there is EDSAC, which helps in storage capacity. UNIVAC, which helps in general electronic computers. And finally, in 1953, you can write it down, this one, 1953, we had started IBM. Okay, IBM company had started IBM 650 computers. It helps in very converting the alphabetic and special characters into two digital decimal code. You will learn what is two digital decimal code. There's nothing. Two digital decimal code is something which have 1001 or something like that, ones and zeros, that's it. Okay, there we go. So the main applications for this is payroll processing, okay, oil refinery designing and marketing. Okay, so you got it right. So two things that you need to remember. One is, what are the two things? 1602,
When
abacus has
1602.
started, and 1953, IBM computers had designed their first computer. Okay, that's it. So these two things remember. And now with this small history, we'll go into generations. Just put a heading called generations of computer. Okay, generations of computer. So there are I believe there are just 5 generations in this book. Okay, so we will just check it out. What are the 5 generations, one by one? Okay, there we go. So what is the first generation? Is that you can know in the first generation, this is something in 1940 to 1956. In 1940 means it's about the time of world wars. So what happens is that it's the computer is a as of a big room. Okay, so computer is the size of a big room. Perfect. So what exactly happened here is, so we have the vacuum tubes. Okay, so there is storage device which were with the magnetic drums. Okay, and also the OS, the operating system is batch operating system. Okay, so that is the binary numbers are zeros and ones. So the characteristics here are, it is a fasting, it is a fastest computing device, and there is large heat. Okay, because it's a big room, the heat is generating and it is non-portable. Okay, so this is something about the first generation. Second generation, there are transistors. The one thing that you need to remember is this one. Okay, the switching device and the storage device. There are transistors which are made up of semiconductors. So what is a semiconductor? Do you know what's a semiconductor?
Mm,
Okay, let us just put it this side away, and let us see what exactly semiconductors, transistors and all this. Okay, so do you ever seen a wire in your home?
yeah.
So wires are made up of what?
Mm, copper, the copper
Exactly,
wire.
copper, because copper is a good conducting material.
Mm,
Okay, so there are three things. One is copper is a conducting material, and second thing is uh, around the copper what will be there?
uh, the wire is the outer core.
Okay, that's good. Okay, okay, we'll be having the wiring, right? So we'll be having wiring. What the wiring is made up of? Plastic. Yes.
Plastic.
So plastic is a non-conducting material. So non-conducting material is also called as insulator. Okay, non-conducting material is called as insulator. And third thing is uh, V. Okay, or else something like this. So between these two, we had something called as semiconductor.
Mm,
That it could be also acting as a conductor, or else it could also act as a insulator. So it has a two twice properties. Okay, so And the second thing is transistor. So what exactly is a transistor? So let us see what a transistor is. So transistor is something which amplifies the current. Okay, which amplifies the current. So what exactly happens here is there are two types of transistors. One is PNP, the other is NPN. So simply take this. So P is something which has holes. See, there is a hole in P, right?
Yeah.
So we can call it as there are holes in P. And if I take N, there is it has excess. If you could remember it like this, we will know what is PNP and what is NPN. Okay, PNP is something which accepts. NPN is something which gives. Okay, which gives. Okay, so with this information we'll be seeing about transistors and all this stuff. Okay, leave this aside and come to the story. So what is the story here? It is something about transistors in second generation. So there is magnetical flow technology. We will see about everything. No, nothing to worry about. This is not much important also. So in 1953, which company had started their production of computers?
I have.
IBM. Yes. So you can see it, right? IBM. So that's the same thing that we seen above. Okay. Finally, the third generation, after vacuum tubes, they had started transistors, and from the transistor they had started ICs. IC means what? Integrated circuits. Can you say it?
Integration.
Integrated circuits. Okay.
Integrated circuit.
Yes. IC means integrated circuits. Integrated circuits are something like chips. Okay, I'll show you the chip I don't have right now, but I'll show you in the next class maybe. Okay, so what exactly this does is it is made up of silicon and it helps in a storage capacity. Okay, and it is almost starting. It is in first generation it is 333 microns. Second it is 10 microns per second, and it is 100 nanoseconds. So good, right? It is really advancing. We are advancing. Okay, you can just write down the second generation and write vacuum tubes, second generation transistors, third generation integrated circuits. That's it. That's enough. This all this thing is nothing. They will not ask much of the time, but these two is enough. Okay, going to the third thing, fourth thing, it is about the fourth generation. Okay, fourth generation. In the first generation they are using a vacuum. In second generation they are using transistors. In third generation they are using integrated circuits. In the fourth generation they are using LSI. So what is LSI? Large scale integrated circuit microprocessor. Okay, large scale integrated circuits are being used, okay, for the circuit microprocessing. So here it is in 1971 to the present. Okay, I'm using i5 processor. So it is a my generation is fifth generation. So there are different generations right now. There is also could be seventh generation, eighth generation. Okay, so depends upon the configuration, how is the switching device being used, and the device storage capacity, operating system, which is called as OS, and characteristics and applications. So what are the OS that have been used present? So it is Winchester disk. Okay, this is not much important, but this is important. Time sharing. Okay, GUI interface. Okay, these all things. And finally, the present and beyond, they're using SLSI, which is called super large scale
Super large scale
integrated
integrated
chips.
chip.
That's good. Okay, so remember this. LSI means large scale integrated chips. SLSI means super large scale integrated chips. And this is super advanced, and there will be Intel core microprocessor, and there will be also called AI, which is called artificial intelligence.
Intelligence.
Okay, we'll also see how this AI works through robotics. You know what's in robotics, right? We'll also, if the time permits, we'll also try to do one robot with our programming. Also, all right.
Yes.
Okay, there we go. So let's
Should
go.
I write the generation then?
Yeah, write it down. Write these things like generation fourth and write LSI, generation fifth and write SLSI. Okay.
Like, can you scroll down? Okay. think throughout the records from that.
Yeah, no worries. I'll send you this PDF. Just take a screenshot of this, or else you can write it down. Okay, you got it? Screenshot.
Yeah.
There we go. That's it. So now let's go with this. Few questions that been asked in exams. Okay. So what are the exams questionnaires? The first question they asked is who was the first computer develop? What is the first computer developed in India? Okay. So the first computer developed in India is Siddhartha. Okay. Can you say Siddhartha?
Siddhartha.
Yes. Okay. And also, I ask you, right, who is the father of the computer? Who is the modern father of the computer? So it is Alan Turing. Okay.
Alan Turing.
Okay, write it down. Write Alan Turing is the father of modern computer. Okay. And the third thing is John von Neumann. John Neumann was the first who introduced architecture of computer in the year 1948. 1948 is the year of independence of. Okay, 1947 is India, 1948 is Israel. Okay, all right. So first architecture of computer is John von Neumann,
John Norman.
and I also told you about transistors, right? Transistors were invented by the Bell Laboratory.
Bell Laboratory.
Bell Laboratory had invented these transistors, and in 1958, Jacques Saint Clair Kilby and Robert Noisy invented the first IC, integrated circuits. Okay, who are those two? Jack and Robert. Jack and Robert. Can you write it down? IC means what is the full form of IC? Integrated circuit. Okay.
Yes.
The latest generation computers, the instructions are executed parallel as well as sequential. Okay, that means parallel as well as series. Okay, hope these are the few bits they're asking most of the time. So let me ask you. So who is the father of the modern computer?
Alan Turing.
That's good. Who is the father of the who is the first who introduced the architecture in the computer?
John von Neumann.
Yes, good. And who invented transistors?
Bell Laboratory.
Bell Laboratory. Okay, so John and Robert had invented first integrated circuits and the general. Okay, so these are a few general questions that I've been asking you. Okay, so let us go to the classification of computers. So what are the classification of computers? So computers are mainly classified into three bases. One is size, the work, and the purpose. So you may ask me, so what is a size, what is a work, what is a purpose? Nowadays people are thinking about two things only. One is either you are using it for work or else for the gaming, okay, or else home. Okay, see, these things are being classified nowadays, but actually we should classify this as the three things. One is size. So which type of computer do you want? So what is the second thing is the work. So what type of work do you do on the computer? Third thing is purpose. What is the purpose? Are you using only for seeing the videos, and or else you just using the small programming, or else do you want to program some games, or else do you want to do some sort of designing? Okay, it depends. Okay, let us see. So based on the size, it could be microcomputer, mainframe computer, mini computer, and supercomputer. So what is the example of mini computer? It is your phone, right? Your phone is an example of mini computer. Microcomputers are something which is really small, and mainframe computers are the one which you are using right now, and supercomputers are something which we have two things which we could use for designing, which we could use for nuclear power stations, and we could also use for different sort of gaming laptops. Okay, supercomputers are something really those are really very expensive. Okay, so coming to the base on the work, one is analog work. Analog means
Process.
yes, processing that we do normally, right? So digital analog is something which is just we type it out, but digital computers are something which we use digitally, and hybrid computers. So most of the time we use digital computers, and then if it is advanced levels we use hybrid computers. And then purpose, whether it is for general purpose, whether it's for special purpose. Okay, so just leave those things and come to the first thing. So there is the size, the second thing is work, and third thing is purpose, right? First size, two work, three purpose. Okay, let us go with the size. So based on the size, okay, on the basis of size, computers are classified as this. So first thing is microcomputer. So just put the heading as uh, 1, and then subheading as microcomputer. Okay, so no need to write up everything, just listen to what I'm saying. So microcomputers are these computers which you have, these are not much powerful, but these are portable like laptops. Okay, so these are a few things in microcomputers like PC. Okay, desktop computer, as laptop, or as ultrabook, as a notebook, iPad Pro. Okay, these are all something lightweight, and these are called microcomputers. And in the microcomputers only we had few more. The one is handheld pal palm top. Okay, so this is we called as PDA. Okay, can you say me PDA?
PDA.
PDA is personal digital assistant. Okay, so you use phones, right? Phones are everything which is a handheld, like in your palm it will suit in your palm, that is called handheld. And this called tablet computers. Okay, so we also call the workstation computers. Okay, leave it and come to this second thing, just put it down. Mini computers. Okay, mini computers. So what are the mini computers? Mini computers are similarly smaller in size. These are fast compared to micro, and cost lower than mainframe computers. So initially the mini computers are designed to carry out some sort of specific tasks. Like if we take engineering, okay, you know AutoCAD? Do you know what's meant by CAD?
Fireman.
Okay, in Dubai or else in any other countries, you know what is the biggest what do you call building in the world?
Actually,
Okay, so FI, yeah. If you take Burj Khalifa, how do how do you think that they designed it?
mm,
They
by
need computers,
thinking
right?
normally.
So to design this, we need AutoCAD. Like not exactly for the architecture, they use different software. For AutoCAD is mostly used in cars, okay, or else lorries, or else anything else, any machineries, okay, machinery, and all these things. AutoCAD is being used. This is called mini computers. Okay, so for you doing some very important task, like also not only mini computers but also different sort of things, we'll be using mini computers. And coming to the third thing is called mainframe computers. Okay, what's meant by mainframe computer? Do you know what meant by mainframe computer? It is a little bit. It has large internal memory storage, and these are something which is used for the business world. Okay, so if you take mainframe computers, these are used if you take in your school or college. If you had one, this mainframe computer controls many computers. Okay, so this is something which is super good. And finally, we had what is called as supercomputer. So this is called what is called as supercomputer. It is the fastest and it's expensive. It is most it has the highest speed. So if I just open the computer, and if I just open one game, it within seconds it opens up. Okay, so it called supercomputer because it has a floating point operating per second. Okay, so floating flops, so it has a good, very good operating system. Okay, all right, we learned very good things about all this stuff. So in supercomputers there is something called as cray 1. It is the there are three different computers: cray 1, param, param ishan. Yeah, it's like your name, right?
Hmm.
Okay, so what are the three computers name of the supercomputers?
Gray one, Paramation.
Okay, so Craven, Paramation. So Paramation is the one of the latest computer. Of course, it's too costly. After you becoming big, you can try to buy one. Okay, I'm just kidding. Okay. So second thing is, first thing is about size. Second thing is about work. So what is the work that you're doing? On the basis of work, you could just go with analog computer or else digital computer. So what's the analog computer? This computer carry out arithmetic and logical operations by manipulating the and processing of the data. So like if you take speedometers, seismographer, or else odometers, or else humidity meter, okay, anything else. Speedometers are something which we calculate the speed. Seismograph is something which we see the weather, and odometer is something which we see the order. Okay, so there is also density and rains we can predict, right? So these are something called analogs. Okay, so we manipulate the data and we manipulate and we also process the data to see when the if there will be what is the weather forecasting for the next 1 hour or the next week. Okay, by this we will getting the analog computer. The second thing is about digital computers. Okay, so what are the digital computers? So if I take something performance like mathematical calculations or something graphics, if I'm using some sort of movies, if I manipulate the data, will I get a movie? No, right? So I need to take I need to take my camera, I need to take the video, and I need to come to my laptop and I need to insert that movie clippings and I need to just cut it out and sort it out, right? So this is called digital computing. And one more thing is hybrid computer. Okay, so hybrid computers, which are something which is very equipped, like in hospitals we had ECG, right? You know what's in ECG?
Mhm.
Like there'll be some sort of box like this.
Like life support. Yeah.
Okay, this is called ECG. And dialysis, something people who had dialysis, they will be using this hybrid computers. So it will be very accurate and very precise. Okay, so finally we'll be coming. The third thing is about based on the purpose. So what purpose is using? Well, general purpose or the special purpose. So general purpose will be using the problems by changing the problem program. We'll be using this stuff. And coming to the special purpose. Special purpose, there are something which is really big. Let us see. So what is special purpose that we're using? So special purpose are these computers which we use to solve single and dedicated types of problems like automatic aircraft landing, multimedia computer. So first thing here is quantum computer. So quantum computer is introduced by Richard Feynman. Okay, it's called it imitates the brain working. Okay, it's the fastest computer. We also have nano computers which helps us to be with a smaller with microcomputer. You know what's meant by Raspberry Pi? Check it out in the internet. Raspberry Pi, it is super costly. Okay, wait, let me check it out right now. Okay, Raspberry Pi is something which is really costly. In Raspberry Pi. Okay, so I'm just checking out. So it is just 4,549. But Raspberry Pi, one thing is about this thing is it would be very good thing. Okay, all right, just leave it. And right now it is very cheap. Okay, so because of technology, and then which we call practice. Okay, so which we use in it's India's first and fastest and first multi metaflows. Petaflows. Okay. All right. Leave those stiff. That's not much important. So where do we use all this? Like we learned about the size, we learned about the work, we learned about the purpose. So where do we use this? So application of the computer. So application of the computer comes in handy. So can you name few applications, Ishan?
Uh, like programming application.
Yeah. So you use, right? You use
Like
your laptop. Why do you use? You can use it in banking. Okay, you can use it in banking sector. In banking sector to transfer the money or to make deposits. Okay, it will be used, and we can also use it in education purpose. In your schools or colleges, what we do, once we go to college, they enroll us, right? So enrolling, so for teaching, for learning, in right now we are using the e-courses, as we call it as also Coursera. There are so many courses, right? So we use them. And the third thing is entertainment. Okay, entertainment. So entertainment fields such as multimedia, film, filmmaking, animation, graphics, audio and visual design. Okay, we will also try to learn this stuff, how to edit. Okay, so there is also called FL Studio, how to edit sounds, and how to edit videos. Okay, we'll see this. And the fourth thing is offices. So depending upon the reports, the storing or deleting reports, updating of reports. And then we come with this advertisements, we can also use it for advertisement in businesses. Okay, so there is a very good thing about computer is that right now the greatest trend in the computer is artificial intelligence and robotics. So what is artificial intelligence? So AI is the area of computer which has the creation of intelligence. Like with the machines we do all the works. Like you can do you know okay Google, and you say something and it recognizes your voice and it searches for you, right? The same thing happens in artificial intelligence. You can learn, you can plan, you can problem solve with this artificial intelligence by using robots, by using different set of things. Okay, artificial intelligence is something which is prominent in this sector. Okay, if you want to become an engineer, try to become an artificial IT engineer, so that you can go to AI. Okay, robotics. It's also being used much nowadays in design field, construction field, operation field. Even if you take a chocolates, all the chocolates being made before, they used to be made normally with vapors, with a human made, right? Man made. But right now everything is being made with robots. All right, so this is something which we learned. So let us go with the question bank. Okay, are you ready for the questions? Okay, okay, let me zoom it in. Where is my girl? La, la. So the first question is, the word computer has been derived from which of the following languages? Can you try it?
English.
I know you know.
Hello? English. English.
Okay, so try anything. No worries. Just try and say me the answer. If anything,
English.
anyone.
English. English. Hello?
Yes,
English.
English. You try. You said English, right? So I say no. So anything else?
English is not correct.
No, it's not correct.
Then Latin.
Latin. Okay, let us check it out the answer. So you are saying Latin, right? So my answer is Latin. That's good. That's really good. Correct. Okay, from Latin we had evolved this language. Okay, second thing. So input, output, and processing devices grouped together represent a dash.
Information convention.
No, it is computer system. All right. So which of the following is correct? So we learned, right? So we learned four things. So what do we do first? What do we do?
For input, process, output,
Perfect.
storage.
That's it, man. You are really cool. Input, process, output, and storage. So collecting the data and converting it into information is called
Processing.
perfect processing. And computer cannot perform.
Not perform.
It can, we can give input into it,
Thinking.
we can give output into it, we can do processing, but it cannot think like
Thinking.
us. Right? A computer cannot perform which of the following functions?
Basic.
That's good. Bake a cake. Okay, part number, description, and number of parts ordered by are examples of. It's example of processing. Okay, so benefits of computer, we need not read it, it's all of the above. Okay, so let's go to the next thing. So what is the 11th one? Not 10th one, right? Okay, cycles. So whenever you see cycles, so output, storage, and constituents, it will be in data. Okay, dash is a data which has can be organized and represented in a meaningful fashion.
Information.
Perfect. That's it. Information. And data information used to run the computer is called. Okay, it's also called data, so it is not. It's none of this. Okay. Yeah. So let's go to the next thing. So the steps and tasks needed to process data is called.
Instruction.
Perfect. So the earliest calculating device is.
Abacus.
That's good. It is invented in.
1602.
Abacus can perform
Multiplication.
no addition and subtraction. Okay, it could not perform multiplication. Okay, so the Nipers technology used for calculation called.
Semiconductor.
It is rhabdologia. Okay, it's rhabdologia. And Pascaline is also known as adding machine. Okay, so punch records were introduced by Jack Wood. That's good. Which of the following is known as the father of computer?
Alan Turing.
Yes, it's Alan Turing. It is the modern. He is the modern computer. Okay, he's a modern father. But Charles Babbage, as I told you in the first class, starting of the class, is Charles Babbage for the total computer. Okay, so analytical engine developed by. That's good. So the analytical engine developed by first generation used dash as a first memory. Counter. Yes. So tableting machines was first electromechanical machine developed by. Hiran Horith. Okay, who designed the first electronic computer? ENIAC. Okay, it's not much important. It's not much important. So let us go to the important questions. Yeah, computer size was very large in dash generation. Vacuum tubes. Which generation?
First generation.
Perfect. First generation. The first generation computers were based on.
Vacuum tube.
Computer built before the first generation called as.
Electromechanical.
Okay, just a minute.
Mechanical.
20, it's 28, right? Yes. Mechanical. That's good. Okay, so first generation computers are used dash machines. Yeah, it's machines. Okay, so speed of first generation computer was in. It's in micro.
Microsecond.
Okay, the period of the second generation computers was.
It was 1946.
That's good. So time sharing become possible in generation of computers. Which computers? Time sharing.
Time sharing?
Yeah. Okay, nothing worries. It's not much important. So ICs, we learned about it, right? ICs, integrated chips. We started in which era? Third generation. Okay, and then chips is a common nickname for dash. Perfect. The third generation computers were made with.
The
Third generation means integrated circuits. Okay, that's very good, man. You are really clever. So integrated circuits are chips used in computers are made with dash.
made of copper.
It's made with silicon. Okay, transistors. No, transistors not. In wire we use copper. Okay, normally in ICs we only use silicon. Silicon means sand. You know beach sand, right? Beach sand. With beach sand only we made integrated circuits. And a complete electronic circuit with transistors and electronic components of a single silicon chip is called as. That's good. PCs are considered fourth generation content.
Transistors.
Contain microprocessors. Okay, so what is the artificial intelligence example of AI? Latest, fifth generation.
Fifth generation.
First computer of India is
Param. SSC that.
the Param is for what? Supercomputers. Computers basic architecture was developed by
John
architecture.
Newman.
Perfect. Who developed integrated chip?
Robert Nash.
Uh, it is IC was integrated by Babbage. Okay. The first latest generation computers, the instructions are executed.
On
That's good. Parallel and sequential.
Parallel.
Okay. Okay. Microcomputer hardware consists of three. What are those three? Perfect. So, which of the following options are express the meaning of the term PC? Okay, that's the answer. So, which of the following is the microprocessor-based computer designed to be used by one person at a time? One person at a time. Personal computer. Okay, only one can use, right? Okay, tablet PC is made up of.
Microcomputer.
Okay, computers that are portable and convenient to use for users who travel are called as laptops. Okay, desktop and personal computers are also known as microcomputers. That's it. And which of the following uses a handheld operating system? It's not much important. Okay, let us move forward with the importance one. PAM top computers is known as. Yes, it is handheld computers. Okay, so central computer, server, and CAD. I already told you, right? Burj Khalifa. How did it made? How got it designed?
By mainframe.
Yeah, it's mini computer. Okay. Yeah, that's good. And 54. Which of the following is considered costly?
Supercomputer.
Okay. So we don't have supercomputer here. So second costly is mainframe computer. Okay, mainframe computer, supercomputer are almost same, but we don't use supercomputers all the time. The user generally applies to dash access supercomputers. Sorry. Dash here. What is the answer here? Node. Okay, I don't no need of understand this. This is supercomputer, and dash is a large and expensive computer. Okay, this is your time. What is the answer of this? It is Param. Oh, perfect. And Pratyush is dash fastest supercomputer in the world. Fourth, okay. Okay, we need not this all this. So let us go to the important framework. Okay, this is not much important here. And yeah, there we go. Alright, so which of the following computer is used in automatic aircraft landing? Special purpose computers. Okay. So second, which of the following is the smallest and the fastest computer? Imitating.
Quantum computer.
Yes, that's really good, man. So in which of the following computers are used? The science that attempts to produce machines that display the same type of intelligence that human do. AI, artificial intelligence. Final question: which of the following deals with the design, construction, operation, and use of robots? That's good. That's good, man. We had completed our first lesson. So tomorrow, or else when we have the next class, we will be learning about this second thing. Okay. Okay. So this is all about this thing. So today we learned #1. We learned about computers history. And what else we learned?
Generations of computers.
Generations and some
Classification.
Yes, classification. And then
Classification.
applications, right?
Application.
Yes, so these are the four things: history, generations, classification, applications. So in the next class we'll be going directly into really good stuff. Until then, keep safe, don't leave,